Welcome back to Beyond the Wild, more in-depth look at the Wild Animal Park. As you can see, there's still snow on the ground, but we're only a few weeks out from opening day of 2022. We're excited for our 12th season. We got a lot going on. We're hoping the snow melts quick and it gets warm. It makes things a lot easier, so the animals like it better when it's warmer too. So we're gonna go check out some animals. So let's go check out some of the different stuff we have going on. So we're out here now, we're gonna go check out our penguin colony. We have 12 penguins that we are fortunate that we've got a couple nesting pairs. They're setting on eggs. We're gonna check on the eggs. I believe Kelly's in there cleaning, so you'll be able to see the different aspects of cleaning. This is their indoor facility where they spend the winter and the nights when we're open. So we'll take a look. Right now, you'll see we're inside the penguin building with our group of penguins. There's 12 penguins in here currently. We're hoping to build our group up to over 20 at a certain point. What you'll notice with penguins, they make a mess. So every day we have to scrub down the entire area. You'll see they do have a pool, just like they have a pool outside. With these guys, they love the water, so we want to make sure they have a pool inside, especially because with the winters that we have around here, they spend a lot of time indoors. So this area here, you can see that it's slanted down where they can go for a deep swim. We've got our nest box over there that we're going to take a look at as we have a couple of penguins that are actually setting on eggs right now. So we're going to check on, we've got two different pairs that are nesting. The unique thing with the penguins are the males and the females help to incubate the egg. We're getting very close that we're expecting the next couple of days one of the eggs to start hatching out, hopefully. So we're very excited that it would be our second penguin chick that would hatch out, as we've already hatched one. They are fairly protective of them, so we'll get a quick look to just check out them inside there. You can check this one out over here also. In this nest box, both parents are actually inside the nest box with their eggs. You can't really see the eggs. It may look dirty inside their nest box, but we have to be careful when they hatch eggs out in the wild. Their nests are kind of a disaster, but we just don't want to disrupt them, so we try to let them be as much as possible.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I'm a zookeeper here at the Wild. I've been here for a little over a year now. I've been working with the penguins pretty much that whole time. So I've really gotten to know them all individually, and they do all have their own personalities. You can see some of them are kind of checking out my pants and shoes. Some of them are like really more friendly than others, like Nori here and Wheezy are very sweet, and they really like to come up to people and check everything out. So I just start by hosing down and then scrubbing the floor everywhere so we can get it nice and clean for them. So when we feed our penguins, we do have this feed sheet here. So we keep track of what penguin eats what type of fish every day. So you can see we do have a list of all the penguins' names, and they are color-coded, so those colors match the little bands around their wings. So that's an easier way for people to tell them apart. So we have AM and PM slots, and then each type of fish that we provide them. So they get anchovies, herring, capelin, smelt, and silverside. They also get a daily vitamin that we have to make sure they get, and they get a weekly medicine to prevent malaria, as they are prone to getting that. So they get that on Mondays. So we just tally what penguin eats each type every time we feed them, so we can keep track of what's normal for each individual penguin, so we can know if anything is ever off, and just know that they're all eating well as well. So it is their breeding season right now, so they are all extremely territorial, especially those that are nesting right now, but everybody is regardless of that or not. So each penguin does have their own personality, and with that comes their own preferences. So each one has their own types of fish that they like the most. So I do have to do the ones that are in the crates. Nigel, who's sitting on his girlfriend's egg, he really likes these herring, and Pebbles, who's laying on her egg, really likes the capelin. So I got one of each for them. And they're trying to steal it. So Nigel took his, and now that everybody's had their vitamins, I'll just feed them until they are full. So Penguins, of course, they are birds, but if you look at them, they aren't very feathery like a typical bird. They do have really tiny feathers that kind of interlock together to make this smooth barrier so that they can go swimming and not get wet underneath. So they are built for the water. Brewster's back there doing his mating call. So that is their mating call. They do that during the winter when it's their breeding season, which it is now. These guys can actually swim up to 12 miles per hour, and they can dive up to 400 feet deep. So they're very impressive swimmers. Unfortunately, these guys are endangered. We have negatively impacted them in the wild, unfortunately, in about every aspect of their life. We're taking over their territory with all of our coastal developments. But the biggest thing that's hurting them right now is our overfishing of the oceans, as these guys do eat fish and only fish. They don't eat anything else. So we are taking their food source away, forcing them to swim further and further away from shore to find food. And we're actually overfishing the ocean so much that if we continue at this current rate, some scientists estimate we won't even have any fish left in less than 30 years. So it's really a huge thing. Of course, it's a huge impact on penguins and other animals that just eat fish. So that's something that we should all try to do our own part to change.
So one of the spring projects that we have going is to improve the safari. We try to improve all the different parts of the zoo, but the safari land is fairly flat, so over the course of the years that we've been building it, try to give it some contours. So we're bringing in thousands of yards of fill just to build it up, give the animals the best environment, make it higher and drier for them. Plus it looks better, so you just don't have flat ground and visual barriers. But it takes a lot of work, and a load of dirt doesn't go really that far, so it takes a lot of loads of dirt to give us some of the small hills that you'll see out in the wild drive-through safari. This pasture we're working on is pasture 3, which we previously have had the bison, the elk, the yak in, and we actually might be moving some animals around. We might be making this our African pasture, but we're really trying to just give it some character. We're going to plant some trees out here. We're going to put some boulders in. Problem with planting trees is the animals love to eat the trees and scrape their antlers or horns on the trees. So we'll have to create some kind of system to protect the trees so that they can be safe and the animals don't destroy them. So there's a lot to it. You might just think just go plant trees, but then you got to think about protecting them so that the animals just don't kill them. The bison, the elk are still out here in this pasture that I'm building up. It doesn't impact them negatively at all. They kind of come check out what's going on. They'll look at the dirt. They'll roll in the dirt. A lot of them were rolling in it earlier. The yak were covered in mud. But we do this, it's safe for them. We would never do anything that puts the animals at risk. If we were doing something that would put them at risk, we'd shift them to another pasture to create more room for us to work in. So we've got a lot going on here at the Wild with the zoo opening up the beginning of next month, and then the safari opening up about 3 to 4 weeks later. Over the next couple weeks, make sure to check out our videos. You'll meet new keepers, new people that are very important to the Wild. You'll see some of the new arrivals. Hopefully our penguins will hatch out. We'll have some new animals coming in for the safari, for the zoo. We've got even some animals coming in pre-planned for the campground area. So we appreciate you checking out the videos. Hopefully you'll subscribe. Pay attention to our up and coming videos because we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming up and we can't wait to show you.